Hello and welcome again, everyone. We're excited to have you join us today for our What's New in Operational Technology Management webinar. And here we'll be unveiling our brand new features in Zurich release. And I'm Jennifer, a product and solution marketing associate at ServiceNow. And joining us today are Ashwin, head of operational technology management product marketing, and Ben Berger, outbound product management director, and Michael Desabris, staff outbound product manager, and few other product managers for the Q&A. Quick disclaimer, we may have forward-looking statements that are based on your beliefs and assumptions and on information currently available to us only as of the date of this presentation. Before we dive in, a quick housekeeping items. We'll have a live Q&A at the end, so feel free to drop any questions you have in the chat box anytime, and our PMs in the call will be answering your questions. And yes, this session is being recorded and will be posted on ServiceNow community website for later access. Here's an overview of today's agenda. We'll begin with an overview of the operational technology, then move into walkthrough of the new features in Zurich to explore its key capability and benefits. And our three features will have a live demo to show in actions. And we'll close with the live Q&A sessions. With that, I'll now hand it over to Ashwin to kick things off by introducing how ServiceNow works with OT.
Thank you, Jen, and thank you everyone for joining us on this journey. There's a wide audience on this call today, so I wanted to quickly introduce ServiceNow's vision of operational technology management and why we're so excited. We know that transforming production, the shop floor, the energy site, whatever else the case may be, is one of the hardest things to do. In fact, the success rate is quite abysmal. Only 1 in 4 succeed. And we kept asking ourselves why. There had to be a better way. And the status quo couldn't stand because if you don't transform, either from regulatory pressure, competitive pressure, or other hundreds of different pressures that act on you, you simply wouldn't be able to succeed in this modern world. And not acting is simply not an option. In fact, you showed us the way. You went ahead and started using ServiceNow for IT use cases even before us. And then you came to us and said, hey, can we do something more bespoke here? So next slide, Jen. For ServiceNow to be an essential part of your production, we have to first end the fragmentation that is ripping apart your shop floor and production sites. And for us, it all starts with our platform, the ServiceNow AI platform. And with this platform, you're able to take any system, any cloud, any workflow, any data, any AI for any industry that you're part of and orchestrate all of this so that it can work and you can finally realize your transformation goals. One of the things that we are very proud of and we remain committed to as an organization is that you will never outgrow ServiceNow. Whether it is AI, digital twins, or whatever else the case may be, we're able to digest all of this change and make sure that it is in service of your digital transformation goals. Next slide, please, Jen. But one of the things that we are very aware of, and we approach it with a sense of humility, is that OT isn't IT. They're actually different, and acknowledgement of those differences will help us build better solutions. So we put the weight of the company behind making operational technology management live up to the brand promise that you expect out of us. Our goal is to make production transformation a reality. So we made sure that the data model was specifically attuned to the realities of the shop floor so that you have production context that is relevant to any sort of transformation project. Next, we wanted to think very carefully and deliberately about the workflows that would come out of the box so that they are dedicated and mission critical so that they can solve the issues that you need solved. And finally, we wanted to make sure that the user experience was relevant, significant, and is able to add value in your production environment. So with these as our sort of top guiding posts, our goal was, as we've said before, to make production transformation a reality. One of the stories that I think a lot about is that if things continue as the way they are, A major pharmaceutical company will take 4 decades to realize their industrial transformation tasks. We want to make sure that happens within a few years. And that is what we're dedicated towards doing. And some of the innovation that you're going to see in the next few minutes is around that mission and promise. So it's my pleasure to turn it back over to Jen. Jen?
Yes, thank you so much. Here is a quick snapshot of everything that's available in our Zurich release. With these new features, you'll be able to transform how you change OT, how you manage OT. Complete visibility check, device protection check, all in ServiceNow check. So let's explore each of these features to see the value they bring and how they can make a real impact in your day-to-day workflows. So first, let's look at the three powerful features we've added to ServiceNow's operational technology visibility. Starting with operational technology device import. So we all know the pain, right? Hundreds of devices, inconsistent Excel files, hours of manual data entry. ServiceNow is changing that completely to expedite imports and improve your inventory data quality. With ServiceNow's AI agents, you can now import OT devices into CMDB in a single upload step. So one click and done. No more multi-stage processes or manual mapping. And second, this is huge. You can upload those messy, unstructured Excel files you already have. Our AI works to automatically transform them into the right template format. Invalid data, fix it in staging before it goes live. And third, the system automatically creates staging table records and flags any issues. But here's the key. You can correct invalid records right there before they hit your CMDB. Clean data in, clean data stored. And what used to take days now takes minutes. Your inventory stays accurate, your team stays productive, and your CMDB actually reflects what's in your environment. Now handling it to Ben for the demo of this feature.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Yes. Give me a minute to pull the videos. Can everyone see the video?
It's come up. So
Okay.
let me introduce you all to AI device import, a powerful new capability from ServiceNow. This will get you closer to the value of accurate data than a traditional OT data import. Now imagine an operational technology site like we can see here. Normally it would be a very complex task, exactly as we said, taking multiple days. But with AI device import, you can achieve this in a matter of minutes, even with a traditional spreadsheet. The AI is handling all the difficult parts for you, validating the data, determining where it should go, takes a process that can be very challenging, but with the power of AI, it completes it with incredible accuracy. So you can see how it works on the right-hand side, easily being able to interact with that AI in order to determine the most appropriate action to do with the context of the site. This is going to suggest the mechanism to do the import, and in this case, it's using an import task, providing a convenient template out the box that saves even more time and effort. Now, of course, you can use the template. Of course, you can use your own. What's going to happen here is we will replace that template with something that we've created, and the AI is then going to process and load that into what we call the staging table. The staging table is a really critical step because it protects your CMDB from bad data. As Jennifer said, we don't want to introduce garbage in as we get garbage out. ServiceNow is going to go through those staging records using the power of AI, performing validation, looking for things like invalid records, and ensuring that everything has been checked. This process is setting you up for success with your operational technology visibility project and your overall end-to-end industrial technology transformation. The AI can go a step further. It can see where you've got those challenges, that potential garbage in, and it's going to help you with remediation tasks, finding any invalid records, which can be handled by a dedicated offline process. We're not holding you up with that process now. We're allowing that to continue in the background so you can get the data to where it needs to be. Once all those records are valid, we know that the quality and fidelity are high, and that's very critical. It takes us from where we were before with a lack of understanding, lots of unknown unknowns, to actually something that we can rely on. And that makes the data extremely useful from a operational technology point of view and gives a significant improvement in visibility. And finally, the system can ask you if you need any additional support. It can go ahead and create those remediation records, leveraging the power of AI agents, allowing you to view them, track them, manage them all in one place, having that activity to support you when you need it the most, and you can get on and focus on what you need to do. The ultimate benefit is you can view everything within the context of your industrial site. The AI has already worked out that the assets are part of assembly line 3, which we will go on to. And it's already worked out exactly where they need to be in the context of your overall industrial production process. And in summary, with AI import, you can get that true step change, as you can see here. You can take your complex processes, you can take challenging data, you can take issues with poor quality and gain that increasing visibility and get in a step change in exactly what you need to make your transformation truly successful. And that helps us as ServiceNow provide the technology to manage and understand your operational technology environment on your behalf. So yeah, just to explain what you can see here, it's all those various different devices, various different tasks that's been imported, and then we can leverage that in that power of that site context, where we can ladder up to true business context, true business meaning, and not having to manage technology for technology's sake.
Uh, Thank you, Ben, for the demo, and we can move on to our next feature. So our second feature is agentic search, and it's about to change how you find OT information. No more complex query languages or specialized syntax. Just search in natural language, such as type, show me all PLCs installed last quarter, like you'd ask a coworker, right? And you're done. And this is where it gets powerful. AI agents help automatically generate the database query code behind the scenes. And what used to take minutes of crafting the perfect query now happens instantly. No more syntax headaches or wasted time. And above all, everything shows up right in your industrial workspace, as you can see in this screenshot. No jumping between tools, no context switching. Your search results are immediately available where you actually do your work. And what does this mean for you? Ask questions naturally, get answers instantly, stay in your workflow. And that's the power of ServiceNow's AI agents working for you. And handing over to Ben for the demo once again.
Thanks, Jennifer. So let's talk about agentic search in OT and what it means. It's an important part of the operational technology portfolio, spanning all the applications and all the modules. Here I'm logged in as an OT engineer. I need fast, precise access to data, especially when I'm diagnosing complex issues, performing remediation, or planning critical change management. This is where we can use the power of natural language. So AI being able to understand me, meet me where I am as a person, rather than passing in technical and diagnostics. Using that AI, you can find key details around assets that are most important to you, ensuring all your downstream activities are successful. Starting with the asset, whether you then go into incident, into change, into request, into vulnerability remediation. The AI works by searching the CMDB, identifying the most relevant information and taking into account even past searches to build a more accurate view to give you that relevant context for your needs. Now, let's say, like the example here, we're looking at an OT PLC, a programmable logic controller, a key device within an industrial environment. The AI will look across a wealth of information to determine what best fits your query and present that information to you. Operational technology is complex. There's no bones about it, but with AI search, you can instantly see a list of records, quickly find what's important, quickly filter, quickly analyze, and get to the critical data to make your work restoring production or assuring production faster and more efficient. Now, for example, I can do even more than this. I can review the PLCs but actually there's something related. There's a CNC device that the PLC is connected to. And in this case, it's in the Atlanta site. I can be even more specific with my query. And again, the power of AI can bring all that together in a unified view, enabling me as that OT engineer to provide an assessment of what needs to be done. The AI is making it easy to search the CMDB, meeting me where I am, and then being able to offer the information in different ways with the full context of the industrial workspace. Here, it's going to offer me the ability to view it in a workspace, but also view it in a map. A map is fantastic because it can give me extra contextual information, allowing me to perform an impact analysis, viewing those relationships of what the potential upstream and downstream impact is. Again, it's not just managing technology for technology's sake, it's laddering up to what is truly important for you, industrial production, and being able to work out whether this change is actually going to cause an issue or whether it's going to be okay from an operational technology point of view and not cause any impact to overall production. So when that query is finished, we're going to see the platform offer a unified map. And that unified map is actually used by across several modules in ServiceNow in order to plan those assessments. And here it's fantastic. It means that there's very little impact to these particular devices and this connection and this relationship. It means I can successfully plan and execute my OT changes, minimize the overall risk and impact to production. Back to you, Jennifer.
Thank you. Yeah, we can move on to the third feature, our last feature of OTV, and it is operational technology shift summarization. With this feature, you can stay informed of critical changes that could impact production. So production is very important, right? And first, it uses AI to give you a centralized, reliable list of every OT changes. No more digging through logs or wondering what happened overnight. Second, and this is a huge for operations, it revolutionized shift handovers. Your team gets an AI-generated summary of the last 24 hours, and imagine walking into your shift already knowing exactly what happened and what changed and what needs attention. And third, for those managing complex environments, you get detailed monitoring down to the configuration item level across all your ISA equipment entities. See an issue, drill down instantly to understand what's affected and why. And this isn't just about having data, it's about having right data at the right time in a format that helps your team stay informed, aligned, and ahead of issues. And one last time to Ben for the demo.
Thanks, Jennifer. So this is my favorite feature by far. I use it all the time in terms of what I do. It's really bringing the power of AI to those critical shift handovers where things can go wrong, you can have gaps. It's basically going to bring all the operational technology information together in a clear way, giving you context and meaning in a single pane of glass by showing you things like changes in the CMDB. We all know that adoption happens at different times. You may be using change management, you may not be using change management. Some things may be happening outside of process. So to show you how this works, we're going to create a sensor in the CMDB. We're adding that sensor as part of a part replacement. So it's not happened in a structured process as we typically expect in the world of IT. Coming back to what we talked about at the start, OT and IT work very differently. Here, when we add a device, we fill in the key details like serial number, location, who manages it, who owns it. This provides me the context to manage that device efficiently and effectively within the operational technology environment. Now, keep in mind, no technology exists in isolation. Everything has relationships. So just like the previous demo, the PLC, a critical component, programmable logic controller, the relationship is super important for that dependency and impact analysis. If one thing changes, the other thing can be impacted. This is going to help us set up the technology management within OT for success, viewing all the information in that single pane of glass. So now that change has happened, let's look at what occurs during that shift handover with ServiceNow's dedicated operational technology management system. We're going to review everything that's happened in that period using the power of AI. It's giving us the bigger picture, exactly what's happened in terms of the shift, what's changed as part of potential part replacements or repairs at the time. Again, whether they were executed in ServiceNow or executed somewhere else, or not executed on a system at all. It's giving me that summarization within the context of a site, Santa Clara in this case, and everything I need to manage that environment much more effectively, giving me that single source of truth, equipping me to perform all my activities, whether it's security focused, operational focused, visibility focused, really efficiently to ultimately deliver the business value supporting production as a whole. Here we can see that combination of hierarchical view and historic view, and it's that end-to-end context together that is enabling me to manage the technology, not just for technology's sake, but understand those critical relationships, critical dependencies, critical changes, and from a business KPI point of view, help with overall asset uptime. So thank you. Back to you, Jennifer.
Thank you so much, Ben, for all the demos. Yeah, and now we can look at the feature in operational technology service management. So a feature we highlight here is operational technology incident summarization. So picture this, a critical OT incident hits at 2 a.m. at midnight, and your on-call engineer needs to understand what's happening, and that's where AI-powered summarization changes everything. First, generative AI instantly creates incident summaries that accelerates diagnosis and action. Instead of reading through dozens of logs and alerts, your team gets a clear, concise summary of what's wrong and what's affected and what to check first. And second, and this prevents future headaches, the system auto-generates knowledge articles and resolution notes from resolved incidents. That fix your senior engineer discovered, it's automatically documented for next time, building your knowledge base without extra effort. And third, you get powerful root cause identification by tapping into historical incident patterns. The AI spots similarities to past issues, suggesting probable causes based on what worked before. So your team diagnoses faster, solve smarter, and stop issues from reoccurring this way. Less downtime, more uptime, and it's powered by intelligent automation. Up next, Michael will take us through 3 exciting new features introduced in operational technology asset management.
Thank you, Jennifer. So first, just OTM, just to explain that a little bit. So OT, asset management, really we get into the maintenance of the asset, being the controller and also the physical machine. So just to give you a little bit of background there on this type of capability and the capability set that we have. So I have 3 exciting features here that I'm going to go through. So the first one is asset condition inspections. So really the name of the game here is to go from reactive to proactive. We want to ensure the health of that asset so that it stays up and operating all the time. So here we can proactively ensure the asset health with standardized mobile-based asset condition inspections. We can ensure that we can go out and look at features by defining scalable and repeatable asset inspections at the asset level and across the enterprise. So this is very important because then we can look at this from a technician or an operator point of view and be able to look at the asset, but then also scale it across those asset classes. So build it once, use it many times, and it's very repeatable and standardized. The technicians enjoy this because it's mobile enabled. It's a guided experience to record the inspection results, and they're directly in the field. So right at the asset, so right at the point of actions. The results are then automatically captured, and if there's a problem, it links to a remediation workflow with nested child events for re-inspections and follow-up. So again, automating that entire inspection process with the follow-up. So this hands-on approach helps in maintaining the asset integrity and the operational efficiency, ensuring that the asset stays up and running. And it also extends your asset's useful life by tracking that condition score. So you can track this over time and be able to make those proactive repair decisions. And when you couple this with the other capability of total cost of ownership, you can be very, very confident that you're making a comprehensive replacement decision if that needs to happen. So very powerful inspection capabilities that we're bringing forward. Next one, please. So asset performance. Here we're optimizing the performance by automatically tracking the availability and the performance. So we know that in operations that availability is key, but also the performance. So the uptime and the throughput that ties into things like OEE. So here we can unlock actionable insights with asset performance metrics. This is designed for automatic tracking of crucial performance indicators like availability, the mean time between failure, and the mean time to repair. And that's also per ISO standards. So every time we build, we follow industry standards to make sure that that's scalable across the enterprise. This feature will offer historical reporting for a comprehensive overview of the asset throughout its life cycle. And by drilling into these KPI parameters, users can equip to look at trends, establish thresholds, and thereby optimizing the asset performance and utilization. Again, going from that reactive to that proactive stance. And these metrics also provide a roadmap for informed decisions, as we enhance our asset management practices, because we want to take these back and improve the practices that we're using out in the field, and then bring that across the enterprise as well. Again, looking at the performance to increase that availability and the throughput. Next one, please. Failure resolution codes. This is a great, powerful feature, one of my favorites. Here we're looking at reducing downtime and eliminate repeat failures with these standardized codes. So when you go out to a job and you finish a work order and there was a problem, there's going to be a failure and a resolution that you find. So we take codes, and these are standardized codes like an ISO 14224, that we can bring into the system and apply uniformly so that these work orders are completed the same way every time. And that leverages that industry standard. And then by using that coding format, such as a gearbox, a seal leak, and then replacing the seal, you're enabling that data that's going to be used by AI in your knowledge base so that you can eliminate failures before they happen on other assets of the same kind. The standard approach ensures you have precise analysis and decision-making for your maintenance and operations.
Thank you, Michael. So, if you'd like to read up on the latest release and explore product-specific content and keep updated with ServiceNow, please visit ServiceNow community site. You can scan this QR code for fast access. And also, like I mentioned earlier, this webinar will be uploaded here as well for later access.
All right, thanks, Jen. And one of the things that we want to be very clear about is that this is a journey, right? There's just so much happening, especially with AI and all of these other things. We want to make sure that we want to be your partners in this journey. And so there are various resources that are available to you. And you'll see three of those here, which is one is ServiceNow Impact, and you can start thinking about business transformation, and they help you and guide you and coach you through that process. And if you want to learn more, there's the Impact community where you can participate, you can learn, you can ask questions, and it's a very welcoming place for you to begin your journey there. There's two other things that I want to talk about, which is training and certification, which is that in order for your organization to fully maximize the capabilities that we're offering, we have a very robust education system as well, and you can go learn more at the ServiceNow University. And finally, you can always use some guidance in terms of figuring out where to go next, how to implement and optimize the platform. So Expert Services is always on call for this. Again, the community is there, and you can take the QR code, take your phone, and you can begin your journey in either of those three things. And we are committed to making you successful. So these are just some of the resources that are available. And in the spirit of commitment to your success, there's going to be a world forum around near a region near you, a major city near you, where you can figure out and you can learn, you can talk to people, and you can see how operational technology can help transform your organization. So there's a registration link here, and it's just full of our experts. So people like Ben, people like Michael will be there. So you can kind of grab them by the ear and just kind of basically say, hey, I have all of these great questions. How can I learn? How can I change my business?
We're here for you with all these resources. And yeah, thank you so much again for joining us today. And we're excited about what ServiceNow can do for you. So feel free to reach out with any questions, and we look forward to connecting with you soon.